I was driving down the road, and it's a road that I've traveled on so many times, but there was construction on it, so I had to slow down. And when I slowed down, and you've probably been there, you slow down, all of a sudden you have time to look to the side. And so I looked to the side, and I saw a building that looked like it was probably 100 years old, but it was the first time I saw it. And I can't believe that I've traveled down this road hundreds of times, and I never saw that building before. And now that I've seen it, I can't help but see it every time I drive down this road. Have you done that? Have you walked through your neighborhood and all of a sudden you see something that obviously has always been there, but until you actually focused on it, it was out of your sight? Well, what I've discovered is that the same thing happens with our emotions. And you might not be aware of the emotions within yourself that have been residing there because you haven't slowed down enough to actually take a look at them. So what I want you to do is travel with me for a little while. So much of what we do is all around patterns. And other people can see your patterns probably better than you can. My husband, for example, knows that if I'm a little stressed, I can get wound up, and then I can get very critical. Now, in the business world, I used to see this. We would know the boss if they came in and something very unpleasant had happened that evening, because when they walked in the morning, the pattern was to put their head down and walk to their office and be very gruff. You knew by looking at them that that wasn't the time to ask them for any favors. Emotional intelligence is your ability to be able to perceive emotions, and it's sometimes easier to perceive emotions in someone else than actually look within yourself. So you have to slow down a little and actually take that moment to look inside yourself. You have to be able to feel your body. So in this moment, I want you to just take a moment. How are you feeling right now? Can you feel any tension in your shoulders? Because that's where I hold mine. If I'm really stressed, I can find that my ears are getting a little bit closer to my shoulders. And when that happens, I have to slow down and ask myself, what's going on? Because sometimes I'm not even aware. Sometimes it will take another person looking at me to actually let me know. So ask other people. If someone comes up to you and says, man, you're looking a little stressed, and you go, no, I'm not. Slow down. Slow down a little and actually take that information and then ask yourself, what's going on? Understand how emotions change. They have rules. You don't think of it, but they do. Emotions have rules, just like all the laws of nature. So if someone annoys you for long enough, eventually you'll get ticked off, and that can result in anger. And if the anger continues, then it can go to rage. In your business, are there things that are annoying some of your staff that you ignore? Because if that continues, eventually it will result in it moving forward and you'll lose your staff. Be aware of the small annoyances in your business. Use emotions appropriately. If you want your staff, if you want your people to be excited about what's going on, what's the best emotion? If you come in flatlined and you're trying to tell them about something really exciting that's happening, oh, come on. Really, seriously, it's not going to happen. So use the appropriate emotion to get the response that you want. And the last part is being able to manage those emotions. Once you've been down that road and you've actually seen them for the first time, then you can start to manage. Then you can start to decide where you want to go with them. Managing emotions is the last part of it. So how are you going to manage the emotions in yourself? Because that's the first step. And how are you going to manage them in others? There's an old tale that you might have heard that I absolutely love, and it's the story of a wise man who talks to his friend. And he says to his friend, inside me there are two dogs that fight all day. And the gray dog is mean and angry. And the white dog is loving and kind. And his friend asked him, at the end of the day, which dog wins the fight? And the wise man answers, whichever dog I feed. You have a choice. Which road you take, what are you going to do?